here to decode the Starseed movement. And there is a lot of confusion when it comes to the concepts of starseeds. And so what I'd like to bring today are my insights in my self-discovery of what I do know to be the case amongst the starseeds. And what this has to do with is the concept that we are in an age, we are in a cycle of ascension, and Mother Earth desires to cleanse herself. She desires to reach higher knowledge of self, and therefore the star seeds are called upon to be awakened. They're here to awaken themselves to their calling, as well as to shine brightly amongst those who are in their orbit. The star seeds are also connected to the concept of all. The star seeds are not separate from human life. They are here to remind human life of who they are. So very often we are linear in our thinking. We think that only a certain group can belong to an elite group. And in much teachings, that is actually what is consistently said, is that not everyone will make it. I believe that Mother Earth desires to be a cycle breaker. I believe that she desires to cleanse herself, but to also break the rigidity, the box of this linear thinking. So starseeds are here to bring Mother Earth up. It is here to ascend the entire Earth into a higher knowledge of self, and some people would call this dimensions. But overall, what we need to understand is that this is a very special time that we are living in. It is a time where souls have come to reawaken the human race, as well as the beings on Mother Earth, all the entities, the animals, the nature, weather, everything is being reawakened by the starseed movement. But starseeds are not just one box of people. What we have to understand is that we are all daughters and sons of the cosmos. We are all children of this earth because we were born here. And we are also reflected by the cosmos to be their children. And everything that we demonstrate here on Earth is merely a reflection of what is happening in the stars. So there is a concept as well that the whole universe is desiring a change, a shift, a movement, a revolution. So we're all stardust, yes, but we are not all awakened. So we all have potential to be star seeds, to reawaken, to bring the light and to shine it amongst those in orbit of us. What the starseed movement is igniting the human consciousness who has been the stardust all along, who has been the star seeds all along, but it has lied dormant in them. They have been subject to cycles, to energetic vibrations that made contracts in order to keep us dormant. And now Mother Earth desires to uplift that deception. She wants us all to know that we are more than just what we see with our own two eyes. So the starseed movement is about reawakening the whole self, the whole knowledge of self. And so far in history, we've only understood the physical realm. And even the physical realm itself has been distorted. So the starseed movement is all encompassing. And there are various entities that are in play in this rising and ascension. So where we have to let go of is the idea that a starseed is just one thing. The starseed movement is actually tied also to the levels of measuring, like the indigo, the crystals, the rainbow. And I actually feel like these are mere descriptions of the aura and the experience of that starseed. And what may also be the case is that there are other levels, there are other descriptions that we haven't even really tapped into. But those are the most popular ones that are circulating around. But I believe that a starseed is actually capable of knowing self enough to navigate themselves through all tiers of these labels. And the reason that I say this is because in our Western belief systems, we really do see things as being put in a box, and we see things as just being one way. When I believe that Eastern, I don't believe, I know that Eastern work, or on the other side of the world, it's misinterpreted and it has been translated to only fit a very materialistic point of view. But true understanding of spirituality on the other side of the world is not in the language and the lingo that we even use here in America and on this Western side. So when we think about these levels and tiers of indigo, rainbow, crystal, we think that only one matches one. And this is really just our rigid way of seeing it. Truly, we have the capability of reawakening ourselves to different tiers. And these concepts of the indigo, rainbow, crystal are just tiers. They're levels in which we can navigate through our self-awakening. And there are various entities and people, extraterrestrials, interterrestrials, reincarnated beings for the most part in human life, and new seeded beings that are all at work here. So what we can let go of the fear of is that there's just one way, and that we're all trying to get to this one way, because there is no one way. We all have different roles to play. And the true starseed is the one who reawakens themselves and desires to play, desires to work their levels, their tiers. So astrologically, there are some significators of what you're more likely to be. Are you an indigo, crystal, rainbow, depending on the time that you're living in as well. What I can definitely tell you is that the 1900s was a channeling century to bring in the ones who were here to reawaken the world. So there have been starseeds who were born at the top of the 1900s, and some of them are also reincarnated beings who were here to channel new beings into this realm. So there's a mix. It's a melting pot. Earth is like a marketplace for entities and beings to work themselves out, and almost like a movie to the universe. And that's why we have so much more than what we think is really playing in its part here. So the Starseed movement is a lot of this all-encompassing concept, and it really has to do with your desires of your own reawakening. So with that being said, I'll go into the indigos, rainbows, crystals from what I know, and throughout different videos that I will put out, I'll probably mention it in astrological terms of what I think certain generations are more likely to be reawakened to, in the sense and level of being an indigo, a crystal, or a rainbow child. But there are even more. So even with that being said, these are just, just a few titles. There's just a few titles of the massive amounts of energies that are coming to work their roles in Earth's ascension. So I understand the indigos. I understand, and overstand the indigo vibration to be connected to the concept of the amethyst. The amethyst stone is is that purplish indigo color, and indigo is more of this area up here in the vicinity of the body. So indigo to me is about the reawakening of the voice and the throat, as well as the higher self, the higher knowledge to the ethers, or the third eye. So even in the reawakening of the third eye, we are tied into the concepts of there's only one way to reawaken the third eye. But there are various players here. Some people might reawaken the third eye through natural eating, through raw foods. Some people might reawakening the third eye through seeking of knowledge and breaking the matrix. The third eye is representative of breaking through the cold. So this idea that all people whose third eye is open, that they all see auras. I feel like it ties you into some sort of religion, that you can't really have an open third eye unless you're seeing auras. But the third eye is open through process. And this is the indigo vibration, in which you open up your throat chakra and you open yourself to the higher knowledge, in which the third eye can be opened in the indigo vibration through seeking of knowledge, seeking of textbook knowledge, or seeking of knowledge of self. That will be the most powerful one. And even certain beings who, smoke ganja, who do mushrooms, they're all fruits of the tree that is growing in the concept of the indigo. These are all different kinds of fruits that can come out of this tree. So we have all types of indigos reawakening, and they are channeled, reincarnated beings, channeled through the 1900s. The 1900s, 19 is a very special number. It's the Sun and Mars vibration. Very aggressive, very a warrior-like spirit. So the indigos typically have that warrior spirit. They want to break the mold. They want to change things up. They see that something is not right. So the reason that they see something is not right is because they are more than likely beings who have lived before in many past lives and have seen this world in different stages. So they recognize that we are in a cycle of change, and they're ignited by past life situations, triggers that will reawaken them to their calling and to their purpose. And the process of this is in various ways, but one of those ways is opening the speech and the ability to speak out, to be able to go against the grain in the concept of what is normal. Those who are indigos naturally feel like something is off. They feel like something is not quite as it should be. And that is because they are being called to make anew and to break the matrix and to break the hold of deception onto those that are around them. So indigos have a very restless energy sometimes, and the indigo level of vibration is desiring higher self. The third eye is desiring to be opened. It doesn't even have to be open. It desires to be open. Just the desire alone is a very strong seed to grow. So the indigo energy is very ready to go to war, and how they channel that war, I would say with the indigos, With the crystal children, from what I understand, the crystal children are very igniting spirits. They too are channeled through the 1900s and have this fire spirit as well. Even when you think about crystals, it's pure. So the crystal children are here to purify people. They want to be the glass, the mirror, to show you that there are new ways of seeing things, and they will, in a sense, crystallize you, stop you in your tracks of being in the same cycle, and shift you into a brand new way of thinking about things and of acting in your life. And so that's what the crystal energy would be like. So in regards to indigo and crystal, most people who are reawakened, I believe, are going to go through the indigo path. And some reincarnated beings vibrate already to the crystal energy. But most people who are ascending and reincarnated beings are going to go through the indigo spirit. But they too can be crystallized. And if they are ignited by a starseed crystal child, then they now have the opportunity to go back and forth through indigo vibration and crystal vibration. The rainbow children is going to be a very different vibration that has to do with the idea of the prism. The rainbow is sometimes seen as like tied to homosexuality, and there might be some actual ties to that, but not as it's presented in the media or mainstream. Rainbow children are special because they show the prism, they show the division of the rainbow colors. So rainbow children can reflect all the chakra colors. They can go down and they can go up, and they can go down and they can go up. And rainbow children are sometimes spliced into different personalities, as you might see them in their role, because they have allowed themselves to go up and down, basically, with how it is that they interact with the energies on Earth. So rainbow children are very special, and rainbow children too can be reincarnated beings, and the very, very new life that is here on this earth, I believe would be manifested automatically as a rainbow child. I know that they would be, and they are naturally going, those who come into earth and they are dormant in their awakening and they're a rainbow child, more than likely they might have been diagnosed with certain kind of mental illness, or given, attention deficit diagnosis. Rainbow children are often also those who are coming onto earth as autistic, and that is because they are tied to higher self. They're really, really one step in to the material realm and one step in the ethers, and they've really chosen to come here and not really deal too much with the way that norms are, that the way that society sees things. This is why rainbow children are going to probably be a lot newer beings, or just the higher awakening of the indigo through the crystal process. So rainbow right now to me is like one of the elevated paths to go, and at this point in the level of rainbow, you're not really tied to the materialistic values of the earth too much. You may understand it, you may have mastered it, but you are definitely working in your spiritual calling, and that's why you have the capability of navigating through all of the chakras. So the rainbow children are very special beings, and from what I know, the new beings are going to be more of this mental state that has been diagnosed as like autism or attention deficit disorder. And that's mainly because, like, when you think about the word autism, the AU in autism is like in music, it's connected to the augmented uh, concepts. Like in the chords, you augment the chords, you make it sharper, you make it higher, a step higher. So autism is actually metaphysically connected to being at a step higher, and so you're not working low as low. You can go down low, but you're really always trying to get up higher. You're always trying to elevate and keep yourself in the elevated position. So that would be my breakdown and decoding of how I see the Starseed movement. And as I go through different astrological aspects, I'll be able to share with you how I've been able to decode, who is more likely to work in the Indigo spirit, who might be more likely to want to ascend higher, who has already come in, ascended at that higher vibration. And it's really just, I believe, important to know that there's not just one way of being a certain starseed, because everyone's role is very, very unique to themselves. They have made contracts with certain spirits. They have come to also take care of the cycles, the karmic cycles from reincarnated past lives. So there's various elements at play here when we think of the Starseed movement. So that is my intro to decoding the Starseed movement. And if you feel like you're not quite of this world, if you feel like things aren't, like you don't really belong, if you feel like you're misunderstood, more than likely you are reawakening to your role and purpose, and you no longer desire to operate in the mundane world. And what you'll also understand on this journey is that some people have chosen to operate on the mundane world, and they too are a part of this role. And it's going to be up to you if you desire to vibrate and shine so bright like a star in the sky that you help to elevate even those around you, those who aren't quick to awaken or who don't even have the desire to, because this is a broader sense in the concept of Mother Earth and her role in the cosmos. She's ready to take her stand, her throne in the godliness of her energy. And that is what the Starseed movement is here to do. It is help to elevate Mother Earth into her role. Thank you so much. This is your girl, Karina Dean, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love.